Right then, guys, welcome back into the Spooky Shed, your go-to place for conversations around all things weird, scary, and of course spooky. He's back again, the man, the myth, the legend. We've got Tommy from Let's Get Freaky. Tommy, welcome back into the shed, mate. How are we?
How are you, my brother? Thank you so much, man. It's an honour and a privilege as always. Thank you very much for letting me back, man.
No problem. You've probably been on just as many as Billy now.
I think this is what also with the quizzes, maybe fifth time.
Yeah, no, I think sixth actually, because you've been on twice anyway, as just a regular guest. Then did we do 2 or 3 together when Billy was on his paternity leave?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, man.
We did a couple of and then the 2 quizzes. This were like 6 or 7. Yeah, pretty much
co-host. No, I've actually bought something as well.
All right.
Where is it? I brought something for the shed, and I'm actually going to send it over to you, man. Let's Get Freaky stickers.
Yes, I like it. Yes.
They're coming to you, brother. And I'm actually going to send them.
Legend.
For the shed.
Happy days. Well, you'll be the only person with 2 items in here then. Can you remember what you left in here last time?
I left didn't I say Leighton Orient Football Club? So what did I leave last time? I'm so sorry, man. Terrible gift. That's not a gift. That's worse than sending over.
Not the way you've been playing this season and stuff.
No, not at all, man. Terrible. Shocking. Hopefully, last year, I know we don't want to get too much into football, but last year we were terrible until Christmas, and then we went on a run. So I'm hoping for the same thing, and maybe we can sneak into the playoffs. You never know. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
I doubt it.
Anyway, this isn't a football podcast, so
sorry, man. Yeah, it's terrible. Terrible game.
No problem. Right then. I can't believe we've never really done this before, but because I know how much you love your cryptids and they definitely interest me. So I've got a couple down that we can talk about, and I want to know. Well, basically, I want your opinions on them, what you know about them, why they interest you so much, and well, if you believe in them ultimately.
Yeah. I absolutely do. I do believe in them. I mean, there's so many, so you can say that they're probably not all real. You know, I think sometimes the same cryptid, people have their own perspective. So if they see a Bigfoot, some people might call it a dogman. It's just people's perspective might see it differently, but it might be the same thing. I've been fascinated by cryptids. It's probably a big reason why I started Let's Get Freaky, to be honest, because as much I love ghosts, I love UFOs, I love all high strangeness, but cryptids for me was like one of the to think that there's creatures out there that we haven't caught up with yet. Is one of is something that really excites me. And I know we find creatures every day, different types of, bats and different snakes and things like that. And we're constantly finding new animals. I believe that there's a lot out there that we just don't undiscovered, that we just don't know. We only know 20% of our ocean. Can you imagine the things that are out there, man, that are still to be discovered? So that's why it fascinates me.
Well, first one that we're going to start with. It's a big one, clue there. And it's I imagine it's probably where your interest started in cryptids and stuff. So Bigfoot.
Yes. Yeah, man. The Patterson-Gimlin film.
Yeah.
I remember seeing I had a Guinness Book of Records book when I was a kid. And I remember flicking through and I saw the images of the Patterson-Gimlin film for the first time. And it's talking about it in this book like it's real, and I believe the Patterson-Gimlin video is real. I really do. But I'm looking at these pictures and I'm like, whoa. And I just remember running over to my mum and being like, Mum, look at this. Is this real? And she was like, yeah, it's in America. It's big, Bigfoot, obviously that she didn't know too much about it, but that was the first kind of memory that I have. And I was just blown away. And then I watched Harry and the Hendersons and I was like, love that movie. Still love that movie to this day. I recently bought it again on DVD. I need to have it. One of my favorite films. So Bigfoot is definitely my favorite cryptid. It's funny because when I started Let's Get Freaky, and my dad was asking me what I'm going to be talking about, and I said one of the biggest subjects is Bigfoot and cryptid, and he was like, "How are you going to do a podcast about Bigfoot? There's one of them in America." And I'm like, "No, Dad. See, you just don't know. Oh, that used to be the perception." But when you look into the Bigfoot alone, these creatures are all over the world. They might not be called a Bigfoot in every culture, but there are Bigfoot-like creatures in every culture that goes back hundreds of years, recorded in the UK, all around the world, Australia, the Yowie, we got the Yeti.
And you've got Yetis and stuff, yeah.
they're everywhere, man, and they appear in every culture. Native American culture, in like Native American culture alone, there's like, I believe there's like 100 different names for a Bigfoot. You know, they're everywhere. We might call them something different, but they're ultimately the same thing. So I think when you look into the history and the sightings that are still happening today, and the evidence that we have with like footprints and, you know, Dr. Jeff Meldrum's work, I know he's recently passed away, rest in peace, his work that he did, and the Patterson-Gimlin film as well. As I say, for me, that is real. You know, you go back to the 60s, could they have made something that convincing? I don't think so. You know, I know that's a debatable one, and I'm open to the debate, but I believe that's real. So yeah, man, for me, Bigfoot is out there. I don't know how many there are, but I believe they're out there, or what they are.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that footage is very, very, very convincing, and like I say, I think because cryptids is a strange one for me because, like, I'm still unsure if they are like cryptids as we think they are, or if they are. I mean, well, I suppose even if it is just a species of animal that, you know, isn't fully identified yet, which could be the case, but some of them are a bit far-fetched for me on that front.
Which one?
Lots of them. Lots of them. So do you think, because like you said, like places like America and stuff, and obviously like you say Australia with the Yowies and obviously the Yeti and the Himalayas and stuff like that, they're like the big ones for it. Do you honestly think that we have like Bigfoots over here in the UK, you know, or something of that nature?
I have spoken to people that I believe have seen something like that, whether or not it's a supernatural thing, where they're seeing something supernatural, which I think if they're here in the UK, I think there would have to be something supernatural going on. I think personally, I can't imagine we've got 8 foot tall apes in our forests in the UK. You know, I know there are a lot of things out there. My mother-in-law saw a black panther over 20 years ago in Essex in the UK. I do believe there are creatures out there that maybe can avoid humans and want to stay away from us. Because the UK is small, obviously, compared to the US, but there is still a lot of forestry. There's a lot of areas where you could go missing, where you could probably evade people if you really wanted to, if you were really skilled. So I believe there's like black panthers out there and stuff like that. As I said, I've spoke to people claim to have seen Bigfoot in the UK, and I believe them, you know, and I want to believe them. I really do hope that we have got magic creatures out there, you know, that we can't catch up with. Because in the Bigfoot community, you'll know this, and in all cryptids, there's a big debate whether these things are flesh and blood, or they say woo. That's like the supernatural element. I'm kind of in the middle. I think there's a little bit of both going on, you know. And I have to say that because I talk to people that are a part of the flesh and blood, and then I talk to people that are a part of the woo, you know, and describe these creatures as being like interdimensional creatures that come in and out of portals. And I think all that could be true because we don't really. This world is so much more amazing than we give it credit for. You know, I really do believe that there's a lot more going on that we just can't understand. I think if they're here in the UK, I do think there's something supernatural going on related to these creatures personally.
Yeah, because for me, because of how they're described and how they look, and even just from that footage alone, they very much look like, you know, a very fucking big ape. So to me, that, like, and this is just going off how my brain works. This isn't off any sort of research or anything, but because of the way they look, that's where I struggle with the whole like other dimensions and stuff. And I had a guy on a while back now. It's one of the first guests I ever did, like, on my own. He was a Bigfoot researcher. Like I said, the stuff he was telling me was like I was like I was almost like fully 100% convinced, and then he just randomly just said like, oh, the transport through portals and stuff, and I just went, I struggle with that. I just think they're just flesh and blood, and they're just something that we haven't, that's not been identified yet. Or I mean, you know, like an endangered species basically for me. I think that's where I stand with Bigfoot.
Do you think there could be like a mixture of things going on? Like with the UFO conversation, I feel like there's so much different aspects to the UFO world. You know, some people believe these are like interdimensional creatures. Some people believe they're among us already. Some people believe they're coming in and out of portals or, you know, other dimensions. Do you think that could be the same with cryptids? There's so many with cryptids. There's so many different things going on as well. You know, with all aspects of the high strangeness. Maybe there is creatures that are coming in and out of portals, you know, But maybe there are other, Sasquatch out there which are flesh and blood and that are just hiding from humans and very skilled in their environment. I tend to be along that. So I think there could be a mixture of things going on. I know it sounds wild. It sounds wild to think. I spoke to a guy called Bruce very recently that was filming, can't remember where it was. I think it was in upstate New York, I believe. I might be wrong on that, but he was filming a forested area and he's very open to all aspects of the paranormal. And he said he saw, like on like a heat cam, he saw two tall humanoid, he don't know if they're people or Bigfoot, coming out of what seemed to be like a portal.
Right.
And then like just disappearing. And he's like, he puts it in the Bigfoot camp because these things were like really tall. Who knows what they are? But stuff like that, man, I think it's possible. And that could be why we can't fully catch up with these creatures, Maybe they can. Maybe there's a science that we just don't understand. I don't know.
I mean, it's crazy because I was literally just thinking then. I mean, for all we know, they could literally be aliens.
Yeah, could be.
None of us actually know what an alien. I mean, an alien could look like anything.
Absolutely, it could be just a different type of alien.
Exactly. I mean, so I suppose the whole portal and thing stuff, then that could be a thing. Like I say, if they are, like I say, from like even from a different planet, they could be using stuff like that for all we know anyway. I mean, all we know is what's on. I mean, we don't even know everything that's on our planet. Never mind others.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Or could they be a ghost?
To me, from what I know and what I see in them, to me they're just like an endangered species. But obviously, could be wrong. Could be all wrong.
The thing is, nobody's got the answers. That is the thing.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people that have got good ideas that give their lives to researching this, and we still may never get the answers. Could they be ghosts? Could they be a type of ghost? Because we know that there was the Giantopithecus.
Yeah,
we know they existed.
You said that because I can never say that.
First time, man. No, I normally can't. But we know that they would. Are we seeing some? Because a lot of Bigfoot activity, when people describe Bigfoot activity in the forest, very rare that people see these things, but they hear them, they sense them, they smell them, they get thrown rocks. That's a very common thing that you hear with Bigfoot researchers. Occasionally they'll get a glimpse. What does that sound exactly the same as when you're in a haunted house? It's the same kind of activity going on, just in a forest. Maybe these things are some sort of, say a supernatural element to them. What if in some cases it's like a spirit, it's like a ghost? Maybe. That's just another possibility. Again, I don't know.
That's scared me. That well, we've just let everyone in on it. We've just recorded your show, and obviously about a lot of recent paranormal incidents I've just had. There's nobody in the house. There's nobody in the house. Both cats are out. So, but I've just got a notification of my son's baby monitor thing in his bedroom.
No, what is? It's got movement. Whoa!
I'm getting fucking burgled. Oh, there's a ghost in the bedroom.
Do you want to check? Would it continue going off if there was someone in there?
Yeah.
That's weird, man. Especially after what I know. We talked about it on this episode, but what we've just been talking about, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't like that.
Did I tell you what happened to me with that?
No.
I know we're on the cryptids today, but so when we was having the weird activity going on in my house where it was getting quite intense, I've got a camera. I've got cameras that are looking outside mainly, but I left one of them in our hallway upstairs, and we were going away for the weekend, and we left the camera on, and basically the camera only notifies you when it senses movement, as you've just got, and you can click on it, you can watch it live, or you can watch the clip that it's recorded. So we're 10 minutes down the road, we're away for the weekend. I've set up the camera in an area of my house where there's been some weird stuff going on, just to see what happens. And I'm not joking, the thing was going off the whole weekend. Every time we went on the camera, there was nothing there. You couldn't see anything. But it was just, I was watching it live, couldn't see anything, was watching the clips back, which was setting it off, couldn't see anything. But it was so strange, man. It happened so much, we just stopped looking after a while because we were like, it's just nothing there, but something's setting it off. So you could argue that maybe it was a fly or something. I don't know if that would set it off, but that was very weird, man.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's bizarre.
You sure you don't want to check you're not getting robbed?
Both the doors are locked.
Oh, man. I was talking to someone the other night, and they've just had babies as well, and they've got the baby monitor upstairs, when you can hear the baby. And he said he heard a voice come through the monitor.
I know, fuck that.
Yeah, I can't remember what it said. It was something really weird. It was something like, I'm here, or something like that. Really, it wasn't the baby.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah.
Yeah. Wild, man.
Yeah, no, I couldn't be dealing with that. Couldn't be dealing with that. No, one like that. So one like that. Right,
That's not
next.
good.
Yeah, exactly. Right, mate. Next on my list, I've got Mothman.
Oh, another one of my favourites.
See, Mothman's my favourite. So Mothman was what got me interested in cryptids. Weirdly. So do you remember like the the man magazines that we have over here?
Yeah.
Things like Take a Break and shit like that. Like my nana used to read all of them. She used to read all of them. That's what she'd do, just sit all day, read them, and do all the bloody crosswords and word searches and everything in them. And then there was a thing about Mothman in one of them. And that was the first time I'd ever heard of it. I must have been about 7 or 8. My nana saved it to show me because somehow she thought I'd be interested in it. And, well, obviously I was, so fair play to her. She told me all about it and everything. And I was like, I remember saying to her, what, so it's like a 7 foot tall, like, moth thing that flies about with big red eyes? And she was like, yeah, that's cool as fuck. And then obviously the film came out, obviously the Mothman prophecies, and then that just intrigued me even more.
Yeah. Have you read the book of that?
I haven't. I've only seen the film.
So good. The film's great as well. The book's so good as well. That is one of my favourites as well, man. Wild. Again, there's similar creatures reported around the world.
Yeah.
Like, they describe them the same, but they don't call them the Mothman. I know the Mothman is quite a strange one, but have you heard of the Owl Man in Cornwall?
Yeah, but obviously I don't like owls, do I? So
You don't like owls? I'm sorry, man. Liam got attacked by an owl, and it's and a seagull.
But
Not on the
several
same day.
seagulls. No, not on the same day. Several seagulls and one owl.
Yes, but how big was it? Because it wasn't 6 foot
Well,
tall.
the owl?
Yeah.
It was only a small one. It was only a baby one.
Oh, okay.
Probably about the size of that ball.
Still scary though, man, if one's coming for you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, fucking hell, they're fucking massive. And the seagulls were like fucking pterodactyls then.
But the owl man in Cornwall, when you look at the description, it's exactly the same as the Mothman description. Same height, same red eyes. And then when you look at the moth, I know we say moth, but it could be like an owl as well.
Well, yeah,
I don't know. The term Mothman got coined, and that's what stuck. But that's what I find so interesting with all these cryptids is that they appear in every culture, but just have a different name. But they've got the same, like, people are experiencing the same phenomena when it comes to them. So it is weird, man.
But obviously with Mothman, and obviously there's sightings of him all over the world. I said him like it's a person.
Yeah, could be a lady. Could be a lady.
Exactly. Could be anything. Especially nowadays. Jesus, no, I'll take that out.
He, him, her.
Yeah.
They, this.
Yeah.
Why?
with Mothman though, but it's usually a case of wherever he's sighted, something bad happens. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, has anything bad happened down in Cornwall recently when Owl Man has been sighted? Do we know?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Because I believe it was two young girls. Yes. Yeah. There's some big things happen after it, which is quite terrible. You don't want to see that, really, do you? But
no,
I believe it was two young girls at a church. The name of the church has gone out of my mind, but the church in Cornwall is where it was sighted. It was two young girls, I believe. There's not as many sightings as like the Mothman gets, but and this goes back. I don't know if there's been any recent sightings. I'd love to know. The thing is with cryptid sightings, especially in the UK, it's very hard to get people to talk about it because they don't want to sound crazy. But there's a lot of sightings, and when that is what's so fascinating, man. The more you look into it, the more you can find. There's so much, man. There's so much.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm just trying to think of ones that I can remember off the top of my head. So obviously, famously with Mothman, it was obviously Point Pleasant with the bridge disaster. Then there was apparently sightings of him even for 9/11. There was sightings of him. Yeah. Well, it's what people have claimed anyway. And obviously, there was the Chernobyl one, but they didn't call him Mothman then, did they?
There was a Chernobyl? I didn't know that, man.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, because they didn't call it Mothman. It was like bloody... I'm sure they called it like the Birdman of Chernobyl or something.
Whoa. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, the Blackbird of Chernobyl.
See, again, different name, different culture, different name. Whoa. Yeah. That's wild. There's a Mothman in Chicago as well. That's seen a lot in Chicago. The Chicago Mothman.
Yeah, because there was one as well. It was I think it was South America somewhere. There was a mine. Obviously, the miners were getting ready to go down into the mine. Like a Mothman appeared and apparently just like screeched. Like you'd imagine a big sort of bird would. And obviously they all legged it, and then obviously they like refused to go in there, and the mine collapsed. So like say again, disaster.
Whoa.
So it's like because I remember me and Billy we done a full episode on Mothman because Billy had never heard of him, and for me the big question with Mothman is he a warning or does he cause the disasters?
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's what
What?
that's what really intrigues me with him.
Yeah. The Chernobyl one.
Mm.
Do you know how close the sightings were to the actual event, the actual incident that happened?
I think it was like a couple of days before it.
Really?
It was
What?
very,
A number of people reported it. A number of
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm sure there's a photo. Let me look
interesting,
again.
man.
I'm sure there's a photo.
I've not heard that one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the Chernobyl one because I've
Yeah.
seen that picture before.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks so unnatural, right? That looks
Yeah. I
so
know.
unnatural. But I mean, we spoke to people, even like Andy Decodes, you know, or Booth, should I say? He's he's changed. He saw the pterodactyl. That was in
Yeah.
the UK. Again, on another night, another person's perspective. Are they going to describe it slightly differently? Is it going to look like a man? It's
Yeah.
one of those, and I think that's something that can happen quite a lot with these
Mm.
sightings as well. It's the perspective of the person that's seeing them, I think.
Yeah. So what do you reckon with Mothman then? Do you think it's real?
I'd like to think so. I
Hard
mean,
one, isn't it?
even though it's scary, even though it's not nice that the bad things are happening, so many people see it. You know, the story is it's a legendary story now, you know.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourites as well. I don't think you can look into the cryptid world and that not be one of your favourites. So Mothman, Bigfoot are the OGs, man. Right up there with Nessie.
Yeah. I mean, I like to think that it's real.
Yeah,
I mean,
I do.
in a weird way, I really hope it is.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
There's me Valentine's Mothman card.
Oh, what is that from? What set is that from?
Cryptid Camp.
Cryptid Cam. Oh, that's awesome, bro. That'll be worth some money, man.
Hopefully.
I
We'll
need
done
to
this
get some.
beforehand. Because then we've got the Valentine's Bigfoot as well.
Whoa! Where'd you get these from, bro?
The link on
Really? I need to get some of them, man.
Yeah, use my name, you should get a bit of a discount.
Okay. Awesome, bro. Love it, man.
Hopefully you still do, anyway.
Awesome stuff, bro.
But yeah, like I mean, I like to think that if Mothman is real, I think because I like him, because I like the film and I like the story and everything, I like to go down the side of that he is a warning and not the cause of all these disasters.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a way, I hope he is real.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine seeing that, man? I mean, I was talking to a guest once, and I can't remember. We was talking about, like, I think he was a paranormal investigator, and he started telling me this story, this thing that he saw in the sky, like a flying man. Basically, described a Mothman, and he didn't use that word, the Mothman. And I went to him. I think that sounds like you've seen a Mothman, and he was like, oh, "Wow, really?" And I think he was in Chicago. I believe he was in Chicago. It was quite a while ago. It was one of my first interviews.
Yeah.
And I love that as well, when someone, you know, doesn't really know about
Mm.
cryptids and stuff and then might say something and you're like, that sounds like this. And it sort of correlates and, yeah, maybe he did see the Chicago Mothman.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Right, so next up, again, I'll do this one because I've got a card for it. So, Loch Ness Monster.
Yes.
What do we reckon?
Again, I hope it's
I'm
real.
not going to lie.
Obviously, one of the OG cryptids.
Yeah.
I know there's Bigfoot and there's Nessie. I think most people know them too, at least, you know.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. I'm terrible with names, but we'll have to Google it. You know the guy that's researched the Loch Ness Monster for over 50 years?
He's the guy who like lives there in his van.
Yeah, he's got a really big beard.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for years. He's done documentaries and he's done all sorts. Apparently, and I don't know, I'd like to talk to him. I don't know. You know how sometimes social media takes things out of context and changes probably the narrative a little bit. Apparently, he's claimed that he believes that Nessie's not real now. After all the years of researching it, he's come out and said, actually, do you know what? I think it's a giant eel. You know? I mean, which is still pretty cool if it is a giant eel. But yeah, Nessie's one of my, like most people, one of the most fascinating ones. I like to believe that's real, man. I'd love to get up. My dad's been there. I'd love to go to Loch Ness and sit on the side and just imagine seeing that, man. seeing Nessie. But I'd like to think that's real. Again, is it possibly some sort of, like, going back to the woo and the spiritual? Is it something that is like a ghost? You know, are we seeing Are people seeing glimpses of? So many people claim to see it. Are people seeing some kind of spirit? I don't know.
Well, the thing is with it as well is obviously, I mean, I'm pretty sure I read something before where there's actually like tunnels into Loch Ness from the sea.
Yes,
So is
it
it
could come in and out.
weird? Like, I mean, like, could it be something that's in the sea that we haven't discovered yet? Because, like you said, we don't know even half the stuff that's fucking down there. That's managed to get in there, and then that's what somebody saw once upon a time. Do you know what I mean?
Or
Like,
maybe it comes in and out.
Possibly. Well, I don't know. Is it salt water, Loch Ness? That's the only thing I'm thinking there.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. But I mean, if there is a connection to the sea, there would be some in there, right? I mean, I'm not 100%. Have you spoke to Andy McGrath?
I haven't.
He'd be a cool guy to get on. He's got a show called It's Weird Britain, I think it's called. He's an awesome dude, and he's big on Nessie. And he had a theory that possibly these things can come out of the water, and possibly because people have claimed to have seen these things like walking out of the water. I mean, that would be incredible to see that as well. But who knows, man? Is it possible that these things can move lock to lock, or come and go, as you say, from the tunnels? One of the OGs.
Exactly. My only problem with it is, or at least my biggest problem, ironically, is the size. Because like you see people, you hear sightings where it's like prehistoric fucking size, like however big rather than the size. The bloody hell are the dinosaur things that are similar, whatever I can't remember what the hell they're called.
The Plesiosaurus, is it? Plesiosaurus?
That's it, yeah. Yeah, Plesiosaur.
Plesiosaur, that's it, not Plesiosaur.
Yeah.
Plesiosaurus. Sorry, terrible joke.
Yeah.
Used to do stand-up comedy as well, believe it or not.
But like I said, so if something like that was going on land, you're not going to miss that, are you?
No, they're pretty big.
That's my biggest issue with the Loch Ness Monster with Nessie.
Yeah.
Is there's too many discrepancies over the size.
Yeah. I interviewed a guy. This was like the start of my podcasting journey, called Jody Cook. Have you heard of him? He's a really cool guy. It was a Dogman episode, but he was like telling me about his time in the US military, and he was at a part of Iraq, sure it was Iraq, and he said that there was this like huge lake that was like protected by their government, by their people. They wouldn't let you like get too close to it, and apparently inside this lake was like a Loch Ness type creature, and he said he saw it. He said he actually saw it.
Interesting.
But he said like it's like a national secret. I mean, again, it's very difficult with this kind of stuff, but that's what he said. And he said you can't get close to it to like get the evidence or whatever. But he said he saw it. Wild, man.
That's definitely intriguing. I have to try and find him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
But again, if there's Loch Ness Monster, if there is a Nessie out there, there's going to be more than one. You would have thought.
Well, you think so.
So there's. I mean, these things are seen all over again. In the US, it's what's the name of it? Massachusetts. Massachusetts. There's a Loch Ness type creature. Champ. It's called Champ.
Yeah, because there's a few. Because like you said, there's the Cabrosaurus as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very similar one in the US.
And there's a really famous picture of what is meant to be Champ. I'm sure it's in Massachusetts, and it's like. It's a really cool picture, man. I know that it's very difficult with pictures. Things can be faked, made look better and more. I believe that first ever picture of the famous Nessie picture, the first one, I believe that has been debunked.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. So
it was a dentist or something, wasn't he, the bloke who took it?
Yeah. What did he start, man?
Exactly.
So it's difficult, and even now with like AI, it's getting even harder to tell. I think now, if you got a Patterson Gimlin style video of Bigfoot now, 99% of the people are not going to believe it anyway. Because we've got incredible videos. I used to be one of those guys that would go on Instagram and see a dragon video and believe it. Yeah. I'd be like, whoa. Now I'm obviously not. Now it's like it's so easy to do. It was 5 years ago. It was still easy to do, but not as easy as it is now. So it's very difficult to know what's real and what's not. And I don't think a video or a picture's going to prove it now.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, like I say, even that first photo, it's a silhouette. It's not actually a photo. You can't see any eyes, teeth, skin, and out. It's just a silhouette.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Have you
Yeah.
seen the movie though, The Evil Beneath Loch Ness?
No, I haven't.
Terrible film, but it's almost that bad. It's worth watching. If you know what I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah,
The
it's
I'm gonna
got
write that
like
down.
1998 Godzilla vibes a little bit.
Oh, that sounds amazing. But it's Loch Ness.
Yeah.
Any actors in it that we know?
No. 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 Well, not that I can think of. It's been years. I mean, I watched it when I was a kid. Probably shouldn't have done, to be honest. Like, but it's well, without spoiling it, it's obviously they're searching for the Loch Ness monster, and then they find that there's eggs down there. Yeah.
Interesting, man. And I take it it's a psycho Loch Ness. It goes on
Oh
a
yeah, yeah.
killing
Well,
spree.
well, yeah. Yes, because people go down there and kill the eggs.
Oh man, actually sounds really good. I might have to watch this.
It's one of them. It's a good premise, but it's not done very well. Put it that way.
Also, as well with Nessie, I mean, what's to say there's not like giant eels down there that are sort of mistaken for this creature, you know? And I think that's another possibility as well, that we sometimes get mixed up, and a giant eel would be just as amazing, I guess. You know, if you that would be pretty cool as well, and that might be Nessie, you know?
Could be. Yeah. Right, mate. Next on my little list, I've got chupacabra. Oh, how you're supposed to say it?
Yes.
Because this again was one of the first ones I ever heard about, and I can't remember what it was on. It was on a kids program, and it was a cartoon, but I can't remember for the life of me what it was. It was something that I used to watch when I was a kid that mentioned it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool one. I've talked to people that have claimed to see these things. They often get described differently, don't they? Like some people say they look like a dog. The guy I interviewed that saw one, he said it had like leathery skin, and it was like it was dead. Yeah, I mean another fascinating one.
Oh yeah, that was you. That was your the episode you did with Josh from the 50th.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, man.
He's cool.
Awesome dude. Yeah. So he saw a dead one, and then he saw the van turn up, take it away, and obviously it was never spoken about again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, going off that, then it could almost be like some sort of government thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like some weird experiment that's gone wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. No, maybe, man. We know how crazy our government is and our military are. You know, they probably could have created something that I'm sure they do. We know they do. We know they look into stuff like that, creating super soldiers and stuff. I believe that is very possible. And I was to say they have not like got hold of dog's DNA, mixed it with something, and you got a saber-toothed tiger on the run.
Exactly. No.
But it's an interesting one.
Yeah, because it's mainly like aren't they typically like Mexico area and like the southern parts, isn't it, of America?
And they got like the fangs.
Yeah, and there's like go for goats and stuff, don't they?
Yeah. Suck the goat's blood and stuff.
It's a strange one, really, like because that's the thing that's always intrigued me, and this is meant slightly as a joke, so don't take this too seriously. We're like, why only goats? Like, why not sheep or anything as well, like pigs and stuff? Why it's always goats they're fucking going for?
Maybe the goats taste good. Maybe there's something to the taste.
Well, yeah, maybe. It's just, I don't
know. Goat blood.
Even though they're in the fuckers.
Yeah, they're like vampires, like very vampiric, you know, like vampire. But again, seen all over the world, and maybe that describe the same, but in just other places have different names. Which I know I keep saying that, but that is what is like what I've found so interesting about the cryptid topic is that these things are everywhere.
You see, that's the reason I put this on the list, because I had a feeling you'd come with stuff with that sort of take on things, but you'll definitely know more than me. I've never heard of anything like that anywhere else. Have you?
Described, yeah, different name, but I mean, people have described seeing like dog-like creatures that with red eyes, fangs. You know, they appear in other parts of the world. And that kind of, and before obviously the world is we're a lot closer now. Like information is shared instantaneously now, straight away. The world is connected like never before. Apparently, maybe it was more connected than we think. But that's what kind of blows my mind, is that hundreds of years ago, 100 years ago, the world wasn't connected like it is today, and yet we still have the same experiences going on in every culture. How can you explain that? You know, that's what kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good point. Like, so it just fascinates me because again you can use the same question as I've started using for the paranormal, Storl Andy and Nicole's question of, like, if you could have it be known fact, would you want it to?
Yeah, I would.
I would say no, because, like I say, if we knew that Bigfoots were real, if we knew the Loch Ness monster was real, if we knew Mothman was real, if we knew chupacabras were real, we wouldn't be sat here talking about them.
That's true. That's very true.
Do you believe seagulls are real, Tommy? Do you reckon they're real?
No, I think they're fake. I think they're a government conspiracy.
I wish they fucking were.
Yeah, I know. I know the mystery of these things are what grips us, you know. And often with most cryptid sightings, they're very quick, seconds. And, you know, people have got to get all this information from, like, seeing something for a second. But yeah, I would like to know for sure. I think I would like to know. I want to know everything. I don't, but I don't think we're ever going to get the answers to everything. And we can try and we can put all the information together. But I think this world is a lot more wild and supernatural than the mainstream will tell you it is. I believe. That's where I am with it all right now. And the possibilities are endless. That's what I believe.
Fair play, fair play. Right, I've got two. I'm going to let you pick. So, have you heard of the Boo Hags?
The Boo Hags? No, I haven't.
Right, so I can either tell you about them or we can talk about dragons. What do you want?
I want them both.
Right, well, I'll tell you about the Boo Hags, and then if we've got time, we'll have a little talk about dragons. So I wish I could get away with doing like a Southern American accent, because it would make the story so much better.
Try it, man. Just try.
No, fuck that. I'm not even going to attempt. Basically, all I've got this is just a little story. So have a listen to this. So, brother Emmett Fisher was a fine-looking young man who lived in a tiny community on the Georgia coast. He was well respected in town for being an honest, hard-working fellow. Although he wasn't wealthy, he made a nice enough living doing handiwork for the local townspeople. Emmett was getting close to a marrying age, and every woman in town was jumping at the chance to be his chosen. He'd have unexpected visits from different women every day, bearing gifts of fried chicken, gumbo, cakes, cookies, and other delicacies, which to me is random anyway. Just bring around a box of KFC. Want to marry you? Some chicken wings.
That might me marry him.
Oh, yeah. But Emmett had his eyes set on a beautifully mysterious young woman who lived alone in a small cabin deep in the marsh. She was incredibly beautiful, with long dark hair, smooth skin, and piercing green eyes. But word around town was that she was a little strange, and it was best to stay away from her. Emmett, however, couldn't get this mysterious woman out of his head. What made her even more intriguing was the fact that she would walk through town turning heads with every step, but never did she acknowledge the admiring glances or catcalls from numerous hopeful would-be suitors. In fact, no one in town could even remember this woman speaking a word to anybody. After several months of watching this gorgeous beauty walk through town, Emmett finally worked up enough nerve to call on her at her marsh cabin. His plan was to go fishing one day in a tidal creek that just so happened to be near her home. While out fishing, he conveniently broke his water jug into 100 little pieces. Brother Emmett walked up to the woman's house and knocked on the door. As the door slowly creaked open and the woman peeked out, Emmett nervously cleared his throat. "Excuse me, ma'am," he stammered. "My name is Emmett Fisher, and I seem to have broken my water jug. Could you please spare me just a cup of water? I'm mighty thirsty." The woman smiled and invited him in without hesitation. Her voice was even more beautiful and silky than Emmett had imagined. She not only gave Emmett a cup of water, but to his surprise, asked him to stay for supper. The food was delicious, and the woman waited on Emmett hand and foot. Before he knew it, she invited him to stay for breakfast the next day, then lunch and another dinner. They're not messing about, these two, like.
Let's go.
Exactly. Suddenly, in the blink of an eye, brother Emmett found himself married to the mysterious woman. After their sudden marriage, Emmett and his bride got along reasonably well for a while. But after a few months, he began to notice that something peculiar was going on with his new wife. On certain nights, when the clock struck midnight, Emmett would sometimes wake up to find that his wife wasn't in bed with him. nor could she be found anywhere in the house. Emma began to get worried that she might be seeing someone else on the side and confronted her about it, but she would just laugh and reassure him that she was indeed in the house and that he must have been having nightmares. After his wife began to disappear more often, Emmett decided to confide in one of his best friends, who had also just gotten married. After hearing Emmett's story, his friend shook his head and said, "Emmett, I hate to say this, but it sounds to me like that you might have married yourself a boo hag." "A boo hag?" Emmett asked. "What's a boo hag?" His friend went on to explain, "Well, a boo hag is an evil spirit that wakes up at night, sheds her skin like a snake, and flies outside and sucks the blood out of victims from near and far. A boo hag is an evil spirit that sits on your chest and steals your voice. A boo hag is an evil spirit that sits on your back and rides you all night like a horse until you drop dead." Horrified, Emmett said, "Well, I don't know what that means, but yeah, just Southern American speak for you. So it's supposed to be sure. Well, I sure don't want to be married to no boo hag, if that's what she is. So what am I going to do about it? The only way to get rid of a boo hag is to make sure she can't get back into her skin when she's gone. Take a look in the closet. If you see her skin hanging in there, take it off the hook, fill it with salt and pepper, put it back in the closet, and then lie back and watch." It's just mental. Around midnight that very evening, Emmett rolled over in bed and found that his wife was gone. He did what his friend told him to do. He got up and went to the closet and found his wife's skin hanging there, cold and slimy to the touch, like a lizard's skin. He filled it with salt and pepper, hung it back in the closet, and then went back to bed and waited for his wife to return. That's just like, imagine actually doing that. It's just such a wild story, but I fucking love it. And weirdly, not many people I know have actually heard of this.
I've never heard of that one.
Right then, so sure enough, as the sun was about to rise that morning, the door opened and in walked the skinless wife. There's a sentence. She opened the closet door, took her skin off the hook, and spoke to it in a gravely witch-like hiss. This is where I wish I could do the accent. "I done been out and had my fun, but I'm back now and my work's all done. So let me in, skin, for the sun's about to crest. You know I'm a boo hag and I needs my rest."
She's a poet as well.
Exactly. She then stepped into her skin and fastened it around her body. But after a while, the salt and pepper started to itch and burn her real bad. She tried to yank the skin off, but the more she tried, the tighter the skin pressed against her body. She screamed and hollowed and jumped around the home, her skin burning her alive. With that, Emmett leapt out of bed and said, "I got you now, you old boo hag witch. You fooled me and tricked me into marrying you, so now I'm going to kill you, and nothing else can be done." With that, he shoved the boo hag into a large barrel of tar he had cooking on the...
As you do.
Exactly. And that boo hag burned and melted, her screams filling the air for miles and miles. After the boo hag was dead, Emmett, being the handyman he was, knew exactly what to do with the hot barrel of tar. As the sun rose that morning, he took the tar up to the top of his house and poured himself a barrel on the roof. So all of you nice, hard-working, fine-looking young men out there, the next time your eye is caught by a beautiful young girl, you'd better get to know her before you marry her, because one day you two may wake up late in the midnight hour, roll over in bed, and find yourself sleeping next to a boo hag.
Now that would make a good Netflix series.
Yes, it would. Yes.
Do you think that was created by like the men of the time to like warn their sons, pick the right woman, you know?
Yeah,
Do
and I
not
mean,
want to marry a boo hag.
exactly, and like obviously, like you say, going back, like you say, to back in the olden days, witches were much more spoken about thing. I mean, like Christ, I mean, we mentioned on obviously when we just recorded for your show, Pendle Hill got a mention. I mean, like you say, it was a much more talked about thing and a much scarier thing back then. So.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
to me, there could possibly. I mean, this will sound mental. I don't think there's women that are going around fucking tearing the skin off and flying around and riding men like horses until they're dead, sort of thing.
You never know.
There's been some sort of witch that was a warning against, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
Because there probably was bad witches at the time, good witches and bad witches. I'm not saying all, but and that would be like a warning of the time, to your family, to your children, warning you. And quite often these stories of cryptids and stuff are sort of like to teach kids, don't go in the forest, man, because there's the boogeyman's in there, or you got to get to bed earlier,
Yeah, exactly.
or the boogeyman's coming. These stories were like there to teach the kids as well. And obviously messes a lot of people up at the same time.
Exactly.
That's a wild one though, bro. I've never heard that. The boo hag.
Yes. I just love this story.
It's like a bit
I
of a
wish I could
vampire. It's like a vampire kind of story. It's like it's got a bit of everything in there.
Cross between a witch, a vampire, and
Yeah.
it's definitely a strange one, but it's just a really, really good story.
Yeah, man.
I love
It is. It's a wild one.
Yeah.
So dragons as well. We got time?
I wish we did, mate, but unfortunately, we haven't got enough time. I don't think
We'll save it for another day.
Yeah, definitely. Because to be honest, we could probably do a full episode on dragons.
Oh, 100%, man. 100%. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. Have I talked to you about the devil dog before on your podcast?
Yeah.
I have. Oh, we've done that then. Okay. That's my possible experience with maybe.
Right then, mate. So we shall leave it there. So before we go, do you just want to let our listeners know if somehow they don't know who you are, where they can
thank
find
you, brother.
good stuff?
We are wherever you get your podcast. Let's Get Freaky podcast. You'll see my little ginger cartoon face on the cover. Let's Get Freaky podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're also on YouTube as well, so you can watch most of the episodes now. And all the social media: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X at TC Let's Get Freaky podcast. Come say hi, man. Thank you very much, brother.
No problem. It's been a pleasure as always, mate. Quick question: how's the mullet going?
Well,
have you got rid of
I kind of bottled it. It's still
No,
there a
fair enough.
little bit. I know. To be honest, the wife didn't like it. It did get quite out of hand when we done the quiz. I had like a full-on mullet.
Yeah, it was.
The wife was like, "It's got to go," and I was.
That's just what made me ask then, because I couldn't see any of it then.
Yeah. To be honest, I do need the beard needs a trim. The hair needs a trim. But yeah, the mullet sadly is no. It's still a little bit, but yeah, sad times, man. Because I did love the mullet.
At least you still got all your hair, so that's a blessing.
Well, it's ginger, so it's.
It's better than fucking having one or fucking bits that are missing like mine.
That's so good.
Anyway, right then, guys, we shall leave it there. So thank you as always for listening. Go and follow Tommy and his show and all that good stuff. Go and follow our Instagram page at the Spooky Shed Podcast. Link in the bio there for all the other socials that we don't use. But there's the YouTube channel, Patreon page, merch store, all that good stuff. Right, I don't know what the hell I'm saying now. Let's end it. We shall speak to you next time.
Thank you very much, bro.